47, 97,
minutes, we go straight to a great work of everything else. We have the final match for a spot in the final. Well, the stadium has filled up to capacity almost. Those are the faithfuls of Gaborone United. They brought the drummers, and those are the and some of the local branches of mamelodi Sundowns. They are not to walk alone. They are not alone. In any part of Africa, you are never alone. KK or Miss K is alongside me, and hence just confirming that I am not walking alone.
Of course, you will never walk alone while I'm here. Very entertaining game is what we are expecting as the two-time champions are against the defending champions. Glow. The supporters came in numbers. They didn't want to disappoint. Wanna be here to see who will be joining this Condola girls.
Well, the Brazilians, business as usual in the group. They topped Group B, scoring for fun, if you could call it that. And here is that silver lining. It is full moon out in Botswana. Well, the wind has increased from 11 to 16, and that has a say in the manner in which the football is to be played. It is night time at 21 degrees. That has improved, and welcome for the players. We are really admiring that beautiful silver lining that we are getting to see, as they call it, full moon. The pitch has been very well looked after up until this particular stage. We are expecting nothing different at a later stage. Battle lines very clear, goal line very clear. You have the penalty spot nicely marked. We had an opportunity to see the ladies in the warm-up, stretching, making sure that they get ready for this particular match.
Of course, mamelodi Sundowns there taking the warm-up, led by players like Bambanani Mbali. Look at players like Rifilo Kamakele leading the mamelodi Sundowns during the warm-up. We'll take you through the lineup and, of course, comment on the changes made by the two coaches of mamelodi Sundowns and Gaborone United.
Well, it is Andile Dlamini getting through the warm-up and making sure every angle is closed down, making sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted. We then take a look on the other side of the pitch. You've got Camelo Peresi as well as Jessica Modise, some of the players who have gone to the salon to make themselves look absolutely bright and beautiful. But Chawe, very businesslike. She's in that defense and is a player that is absolutely notable. Not forgetting Onhla Metsi. And the goalkeepers here have really made their place pretty much homage in terms of the ground. Well, we look at the two sides in terms of the log standings. For Gaborone United, it has been a buffer, a tether here and there. They've scored 3 goals, conceded 3, looking at coming into the stage on a limp and a prayer. And many questions have been asked by the locals to say, is Gaborone going to defend their crown? Is Gaborone going to be bundled out? Well, let me just share something for you. Football is a cruel game. You can have your worst game in the previous match and come out and put your right foot forward. So for every team that finds itself in the semi-final stages, you have to be alert. The red and white army is out there to share their support for every player out there, hoping that they will get them over the line. They need you more than ever. Sundowns, on the other hand, they have navigated this path once too many, and they know what it's all about.
They know what it's all about. Mamelodi Sundowns, a side which are scoring goals for fun. The big question is, will the Red Roses be able to stop Masanda Wana from scoring? That remains the question. They have only considered once Mamelodi Sundowns a very funny goal against the Costa do Sol.
Well, we have become accustomed to some crisp passing, tika-taka under the lies, finishing sharp. They look ready. You know, Gaborone United's intensity, pressing drills, the coach shouting, the crowd already chanting Gio, Gio. I think that was pretty impressive during the warm-ups. spotting a completely new side in the Mamelodi Sundowns outfit. In the previous match, they also played a completely new side. So that shows the depth of this particular team. They're not to be outdone. Here's the drummer. He's about to remind us in Africa that it is all bright and beautiful. It is all about music and song. It is all about dancing and chanting, and not forgetting the celebrations.
Not forgetting the celebrations, the supporters of Mamelodi Sundowns, a side with so much depth in the squad. Last game they played, it was a new team. This time around, when we take you through the lineups, we're going to tell you a completely new team. And we were talking about Zescondola girls as well as the Silver Strikers, a fatigue coming in here and there. As for Mamelodi Sundowns, surely they can relate.
Well, we're talking about a tournament that started on the 20th of August. The final is on the 29th of August. Tonight, we get the two finalists. We've already got one. We're waiting for the winner between this match. And it will be all systems go. Gaborone United, the hosts. They are up against Sundowns. And who will meet Zesco in the final?
And who will play Silver Strikers for that third spot?
Well, the teams are getting ready to come out of the tunnel and line up and get their handshakes, their eyes firmly on the prize. And we are about to make our way to kickoff. The fans of Gaborone, I should be saying kia leboha for your presence and making sure this tournament has gone on without a glitch.
Of course, all the supporters who has been, coming to Gaborone United Stadium since day one, and we are hoping even on Saturday when we wrap things up, they're going to be here in numbers. And for some of these supporters also, it will be so interesting for them to see the local girl in Refilo Tolakele facing her teammates at national team level. But today, she's in a very different team.
Well, Imatata. There's no two ways about it. And we have 90 minutes ahead of us. We have two sides that are deserving of being at this particular spot. You have the nation's pride and the national flags hoisted up pretty high. And you have the business of the day. You have the business of the day. So Mamelodi Sundowns getting to this particular point. Their first match was against Nsingizini Hotspurs. They made light work of the Eswatini side. They were leading 7-0 in the first half. We thought that one was going to go to 21-0. It didn't. And Nsingizini came back in the second half, put a stop to it. And Sundowns won that one by 8 goals. It still is the highest score of the tournament thus far. We then went on with Mamelodi Sundowns, and they faced Silver Strikers of Zimbabwe. 2-0 was the scoreline before the break. They ended up that one with 3-0. So again, you're getting a side that does the business in the first 45, comes out a lot more organized, a lot more calmer in the second, or do we say the second half? Usually the opposite teams have figured you out and just put a bit of an end. Here is that song, Miss K.
That song that when you hear, you kind of tremble a bit. You feel it, whether you like it or not. And these players, they know this song says to them, are you booking a spot in the finals or not? Gaborone United, it hasn't been an easy tournament so far for them. They had to come from a goal down to beat Lesotho Defence Force 2-1. They went on to beat Herentha Queens at 1-0, and they were beaten by Zescondola Girls 2-0 in the last group game of Group A.
Teams line up in front of the dignitaries. The flags, the officials nicely kitted, and the two teams. And the quick handshakes between the two. Camelo leading her team, to get that over the line. And it is one that's going to be a fantastic match. Get ready. Bring the popcorns closer. Remember, family at home, we are aligned. We are together. We are on the same WhatsApp group. And I will certainly keep you posted of any developments that happen around here that you are not able to see. I am your friend. I am your partner in crime and out of crime. Here is the referees, Ednas Gumbo, Yuvelina Augustinius of Namibia. That is the assistant number 1, and Dominica Melusi of Zimbabwe, assistant referee number 2. The 4th official is Chipo Messi of Zim, and she will make sure that VAR with Brighton Chimene and Lumbizai Musawa, that is our VAR referees. We had a decision, and that's this being the first tournament in Zimbabwe to ever use VAR, a moment for Zimbabweans to be proud, and more so women's football to be proud, as this is where we are going in football in terms of ensuring that there is fair play. There are those close decisions that are being decided by the bird's eye view. So the captains, Radio Kanyo, as well as Ramalepe, we've got 2 captains. I'm not sure Radio Kanya getting instructions, and Ms. Peresi there in the thick of things, and the referee just showing her to go back to her teammates and not get involved. So the gifts as Ramalepe and goalkeeper Peresi is choosing a side, and she should know better. This is their home ground. And handshakes, the picture that everyone is always after. And Mamelodi Sundowns, as well as Gaborone United, get us going. We introduce to you the lineup: Andile Dlamini, Tesane, Pila, Ludwig, Mbane, Daweti, Biana, Mtandi, Ramalepe, Dlamini, and Tolage. You go to the bench, you've got Mr. Zolile Sapula. He says, I'm going to sit alongside Makubela, Mashiko, Rabale, Khadiete, Mukwena, Roshina, and Musman.
A completely new side for Mamelodi Sundowns, coming with the 4-3-3 formation, where you are looking at Biana, Tandi, Luig to supply Rifilo Tolagele, Sasani, and Dawit. But Gaborone United, Camelo Peresi, Kitofetso Mochawe, Nancy Bailezi, Lorata Motlogala, Serati Mudisanyani, the only change in the Red Roses, replacing Huizi Mantlama, who is on the bench together with Kifilo Tafa, Peggy Manewe, Yaonemudis, and Khalid Nyonzima leading his side.
Well, we're looking at Gaborone United coming through with the 4-3-3 formation. Ratari and Bayeletsi, 2 defensive midfielders. It is Radio Kanyo that will assist on Tlameti. Ditebe on the right-hand side. Maponga on the left-hand side will be using and exploiting the width. As Mamelodi Sundowns, they say, Minwana Pezulu, Banyana style. They are in the house. We then look at Coach Sapula, who's really turned this team into a well-oiled machine, and bringing the best of Isabel Ludwig, bringing the best of Karabo Dlamini. We then look at Coach Khalid, who also has a task on his hands to make sure that his team comes out of the buffering, and these 2 teams know each other, and we get underway, and it's Mamelodi Sundowns that send the ball into the opposition half, and immediately looking to camp out and put them under pressure. That is a clear indication, Ms. K, that what do they want to do? Press from the whistle.
Press from the whistle, camp in the Gaborone United side with the players that they have, Mamelodi Sundowns, the speedy winners that they have, and Gaborone United, Mudisanyane, Kenya Dize, they're gonna have to be very careful. They should avoid going forward, because Mamelodi Sundowns, once you go forward, they exploit those spaces, and this is what they wanted the glow, from the whistle. Now throw into them.
There's a throw in. There's Karabo Dlamini, the player who scored a brace in the previous match. Here's Mrs. Dlamini inside the box and still staying on her feet. Eventually, she was dispossessed as Bambanani Mbane will just allow a quick throw in, but she's been stopped in her tracks. You will be able to see the level of intensity and also not only the level of intensity, the intelligence that is to be applied on the park. So a throw in, Karabo Dlamini. It is a high ball that picks up Ramalepe. Gives an indication to Kutsopila to stay back. And Knox expected to be those players that really will have the creative juices to see the opening thereof. Radio Canyo, the home goal, is full of running. Looking to pick up Isabel Ludwig.
For this Gaborone United side, the indication is clear that they are picking that midfield. We already isolated there. We're going to have to look at players like Radia Kanyo, Ditebe Maponga. Defensively, how are you helping? But when going forward also, how supportive are you of Neymar?
Yes, Isabel. Ball picked up by Mamelodi Sundowns. It's Lununa Daweti threading that ball into the kitchen, and that is the first corner. Ochawe had to get her foot out to break that attack. We've seen the communication and also trying to get the goals to switch on. Is Muchawe. Corner is to be played short. You've got Nontlantla Mtandi in that box. But delivery is coming in, and Ditebe gets it away. Radio Kanyo. Ramalepe gets a foot in, stops. Maponga in her tracks. Counter-attack is going to be absolutely key. The indication is very clear from Giu. Wasted ball. While the vuvuzelas are out, the drummers are out. There's Pitbull. Matami. Kutsopil. A lot of shifting in the midfield. A lot of shifting in defense. Karabo forced back. All the way to the goalkeeper. Good work there by Ontlametsi. Ramalepe pushing up, the fullback. Looking to give Sundowns added bodies going forward. Throw in. Knox. Runs, gets herself out of trouble is Nokola Kasane. Another twin, but she's not fortunate to be playing with her twin. Refilwe Tolagale just gets attached and that ball goes out for a goal, for a throw-in.
First 4 minutes, which the two teams, so structurally we can see what they want to do. Gaborone United, we defend in numbers. When we go forward, we try to go in numbers, try to catch Mamelodi Sundowns on counter-attack. Mamelodi Sundowns is clear the winners with Ramalepe always good going forward to help in attack.
We were pretty happy to hear some of the voices of the people in the taxi ranks that were talking and putting some bets together and saying this is a battle, South Africa versus Botswana. It is similarly that in the commentary booth, and it is outnumbered in the Obi van there, where we've got a full house of the homages. Here's the mistake that is being made, and should that be a free kick on the edge of the box? Kutsopila taking an eye off the ball, and it looks like Ontlametsi, who's Oratari there, that's left grimacing in that. She's been helped up by Bambanani Mbane. This is the reason. Loss of the ball there from Kolosa Biana, and Ratari being helped up by Bambanani Mbane. Well, let me not lie. A lot of these players have got other qualifications. As they come into this match, we've got some PhDs, we've got some masters, and that is what women's football is about, a balancing equation of sports and education. Ramalepe, one that decided that she wants to go back to school. That is Ramalepe. It is never too late. All over the top. All the way back to Andile Dlamini. We are expecting that Gaborone United will play with the mid-block, being a lot more cautious of the approach and the explosiveness of Mamelodi Sundowns. That's the amount of respect. But do keep an eye on the explosive counter-attacks that one would be dishing out today. You're looking for Ditele, Leluna Daweti, threading that ball, looking for Radio Kanya. She has a company. Kept in play. Chibobo, Samaya, to the left and to the right. Let's go. Who's not to be taken out is Mutokhailwa. She says, you can put those Chibobos, you can do those Samayas, but I'm going to stop you.
I'm going to win my team a goal key.
I'm going to make sure I protect my goalkeeper, Machawa. That's what the pressure does, and the turnover ball in the favor of Mamelodi Sundowns. Coach Khalid Niozima has asked for one more push from his players, as they do need to defend this crown. Tandi, Leluna Daweti. So a bit of a push. There's a player that seems to be in trouble. Coach Khalid Niozima. I told you, these are the United States of Africa. Coach is from Burundi. Team is from Botswana. Oh, missing from this lineup is Tama. She's on the bench. Bamanani Mbane. There's Ditebe, Doba Doba. They call her Ben 10 in this part of the world. And it's a free kick. Sundowns defensively, playing with danger. And again, Bambanani Mbane, Kolo Sabiana looking to give away free kicks. Well, this will be in Andile Dlamini territory. Have a look at that. Kolo Sabiana
falling in Jessica Mabonga, and the credit to Gaborone United for putting that pressure, for piling that pressure on the Mamelodi Sundowns defense. We'll see what Itumezi Ditebe is going to do there. We've seen how she takes the free kicks in a good area, one may say, and Andile Dlamini will see whether she's up to the task or not.
Well, family, here's the first report. Miss K is up on her feet. She's up on her feet and saying she's getting up so that she doesn't sit on the goals. This could be the first goal of the match, and it is the trusted Ketumeti Ditebe. She's got a four-man wall to deal with, and would she go straight to goal and exploit the left-hand side of Andile Dlamini? Ditebe! And the wall does its job. Machawa sends it back though, and that's not to trouble.
For the player of Kitumezi Ditebe Kaliba, a disappointing free kick, one may say. Why not take it up? We have seen the first appearance of Botswana at WAFCON. She scored a beautiful free kick against Morocco. For her, it's a disappointing one.
But I think what she tried to do was to lift that ball over the wall and get to the goalkeeper's left-hand side, which is where she had left most of the space. But the wall doing its job, and you got to also compliment the defensive structure that's been deployed. Otherwise, Ditebe does pack a beautiful long-range shot, and you can ask many keepers. They'll tell you when the game is done that my fingers are burning. So it is a throw-in. Knox, Isabel Ludwig, Ndase. Yes, Ludwig. Well, you'll remember Miss Janine van Wyk, she was called Tandega. You get given a name. And she's just released her book as Miss Janine van Wyk, 185 caps, and the most by any African player. So here's Nhlanhla Mthandi. Ditebe is asking for it. Lelona Daweti puts a foot in. And here's the pit bull looking to thread that ball into the box. It's picked up by Kutsopila. Ramalepe is alongside her. She can carry the ball if she likes, or she could just thread it through, looking to find Isabel. Isabel has got Knox lurking on the left-hand side. Knox has got Biana, she's got Kutsopila, chooses to go to Pila. And Sundowns, for the moment, good rotation, looking for that patient build-up. Liluna Daweti releases Dlamini Karabo, and that ball goes out for a throw-in. Bambanani Mbane, who's closest, takes it quick, takes it short. Kutsopila as a captain to contend with, but this time she wants to keep Andile Dlamini not on holiday, and neither is she keeping her on the shore. She wants her inside. She wants her inside the water, doing the business.
She should do the business. She shouldn't get cold. Andile Dlamini, always ready for action. That's what the defense is trying to do, involving her in play.
Ms. K, you know what they say when you go into cold water, or if you stand outside and you feel the water, it's very cold. But once you're in it, it is warm. So for Ms. Dlamini, she will be part of this team. Is running into trouble. Nhlanhla Mthandi, a bit of holding. She apologizes immediately to her team, breaking up play. Ratari will get that ball and maybe leave it to Serati. I've had to practice some of my Setswana, and I have a good teacher around me in Ms. K. She says, it is not Modisenyane, it's Modisenyane. So that's now 10 out of 10 for that.
Of course.
Mamanani Mbane. Kupa tshwarelo. Ke ishapa ka sekgowa. Mamanani Mbane. Over the top. Looking to get behind that defense. The one thing that has been transferred from Gaborone United to the senior national team is the fact that defensively, on their day, they can be absolutely difficult to break down. And yes, they may have a slow start. Here's a Ditebe who could go route one. She has not that much in support, but here is Radio Khanyo. Remember that she too can pack a shot. She comes from pretty deep. The woodwork was rattling in the previous match. She stayed down, sneaking through to see what is the impact of that particular foul. Here's Knox carrying the ball through, eventually looking for the return ball. As Mr. Refula. Here's Knox.
One thing that is very interesting, Glo, is how Mochawe actually gets out of her central defensive position, going out to help the wingbacks, most of the time battling it out with her former teammate at Township Rollers in Refilo Thalagel. I hope they are doing that with caution. Gaborone United, they're not going to want a situation where she is out of her area and Sundowns capitalizes on that.
You know, you're talking of a club, Township Rollers, one of the older clubs in Botswana, and also used to have a team called the Meat Company.
BMC.
BMC. That's how far back we go. Township Rollers.
Produce quite a number of players in here.
Snapshot into the handbag. Yep.
Ke se go fetse mochawe re file tholakele se dilami boseja Nancy Baeletsi in this Gaborone United team. It's a team with a lot of history, Township Rollers, and you know when you talk women football, most of the players they started
there. They like green buffaloes.
Yes.
Yes, Lami. Good take there by Ms. Liluna Daweti on the edge of the box. Lamin delivers, looking for Ludwig. Knox takes it down the chest. Knox looking to thread through. Knox, brilliant! Good take off the chest. Wasn't able to get it in to the back of the net, but that's the dangerous Knox. When she's on song, we talk of all these dynamites that we've seen in this tournament. They do come in small packages.
None of the Gaborone United players was actually seeing what Knox was doing. She was just unfortunate not to find the back of the net. But, you know, Gaborone United, they have to guard against it. And I hope they're not going to take numbers to go guard Knox and leave a space for players like Refilo Talakele, like Duweti, you know, when they try to defend.
Here's D10. D10. Good ball. Looking for Radio Kanye. Good turn. But possession turned over. Looking for Diteme. The last touch coming off Doba Doba. The last touch coming off Doba Doba. There's the pit bull. You run into her with your eyes closed. You are bound to get a bite. That is the earlier effort off the chest, off the thigh, and eventually picking a spot. That's sweet, delightful.
Exactly what the supporters are here for, exactly what they expected, and so far this game is giving us what we expected. We expected a very tough game between the two sides. 17 minutes gone, you know, one can say still 50-50.
It's definitely the business end. You're not going to get that many goals. Tolagere, deflection goes into the hands of Ms. Peresi. See a lot of space on the field. At times it becomes pedestrian. The earlier matches were almost so frantic. Everyone wanted the game done and dusted. Dangerously in that defense. Sundowns will be punished tonight if they don't rectify those little mistakes that they are making. Too casual for my liking. Kutsopila. Bambanani Mbane. Liluna Daweti, nice take off the chest. The tension is very thick in the van. Here's Ms. Refilwe Tolagele. A rush of blood to the head. Wanted to get it on the volley, nothing wrong with that, just needed to get it on target. A reminder that it looked like she was going to take that net out as well.
Gaborone United, they need to be careful going forward. Of course, piling that pressure on Mamelodi Sundowns, they're doing well. But Refilo Talakele here, Mochawa well beaten as she wanted to loop it over Matlamelo Perez, but unfortunately, it didn't go according to plan.
You can plan for one thing, but the game gives you the game is the real teacher. Sundowns, patient. They will be knocking and knocking and knocking until they break down the wall. Ratari. There's a mistake being made. There's Karabo. He's delivered some good balls from that side. Brilliant effort. Mamelodi Sundowns with the Refilwe Tolagele leaping highest. She goes to celebrate with her fans. So, Sundowns won. Gaborone United no.
You look at where that ball was coming from. Gaborone United in the defense, they lost the ball. Dlamini was the quickest player to get to that ball, eventually putting in a cross. Lefilo Thalakele with a header. The marking of Gaborone United defense is something that we spoke about. Beautiful cross from Dlamini there. Lefilo Thalakele all alone. Thank you very much. You look at Desrike Nyadiswe. Where are you? Where are you? Why are you not marking Lefilo Thalakele? And of course, the central defense of COSAFA Mochawe as well as Motlogalo very far apart, and it was an easy one for 7.
We needed this goal to spark the noise. I've been across noisier graveyards. We had needed to get a bit of a shake-up, and it came in a good time. But one thing I need to do right here is to also look at the goalkeeper's positioning. She was attacked at the pole, which should have been, and very importantly for a goalkeeper, closed out. But you gotta give credit to Refilwe Tholakele. Mamelodi Sundowns, the intelligence of Dlamini to take that ball farthest away. Here's another effort. It is Isabel Ludwig Mtase. Isabel Ludwig inside the box. Step over. Whichever way that it comes. Now it is Ramalepe who says, let me show you how else to do it. Here's Matamin. Karabo looking on the box is Luluna. Tawe to Karabo inside the box. Keeper full stretch. Keeper collects. Keeper looking rather worried.
Gaborone United ball watching, enjoying what Mamelodi Sundowns is doing, and they have to work on the mental strength. Gaborone United, you don't just watch a team like Mamelodi Sundowns do as they please. Where is Nancy Bailet, who is your defensive midfielder, together with Oratile Rat? Mamelodi Sundowns, they're having a feast in that midfield.
Talking about the feast, it all depends what season it is, but they've taken. Kanye is upset. She's very upset. And she's making it very, very clear why she's upset. Well, Mr. Khalid from Burundi is looking at the replays there and wondering if there was any concerns of that he could highlight to his players, especially in the break. You would want to close down the width. You'd want to close down the width. Mamelodi Sundowns is a 4-3-3. Daweti, Tesane. You've got Karabo Dlamini, the roving footback that is pushing up, and Ramalepe as well. Refilwe Tholakele. Township Rollers will be super proud with having to contribute immensely to this player. When she signed for Mamelodi Sundowns, she signed as a former Township Roller player.
Yes, they call her 7. We call her 7. But she was wearing just a 7, doing wonders in the field of play.
Okay.
And the nickname
now you've just made things easier for me. Wearing number 7.
Yes.
And when you look at Mamelodi Sundowns' celebrations, they've got number 7. 7 up.
Yes.
Oh, so she went to the right place there.
Well,
didn't get the right number.
Didn't get the right number.
Okay.
Yeah, the place, good one.
Okay. So here's Bambanani Mbane. Family, Miss K is pinching me. Miss K is pinching me. All because of that goal. Tell them, Miss K.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel that the local girl is doing good, but scoring against the local team. How do I feel in that instance?
Fall in. Let's see what does Perez do. Mistake made. It is the home girl yet again. Being pushed and shoved. But it is Dlamini who's available to help her out. Here's Karabo. Delivers the ball. And the keeper this time. The keeper this time. Quick to go down. I know there's trouble there. On this left-hand side, there's trouble. There's got to be a double up. maybe you got to get Mochawe or Mutluchelwa and Mudisenyane closer to each other to double up on the balls that's coming from the wing. But then you are exposing your defense. Maybe you'll have to get to Bayeleti dropping down or Atari dropping down when that happens. But there's certainly a problem in dealing with the width.
There's a lot of problem, but also you look at players like Jessica Maponga, Gitumezi Ditebe to also come in and help in defense.
Almost an own goal. It is Muchawe. Saw the keeper coming in under pressure. The communication is breaking down. The telephone lines are crackling. There is no network. There is no network.
They have a lot of work to do, Gaborone United, and Mamelodi Sundowns. These are the mistakes that they want to see Gaborone United committing. They're going to pile a lot of pressure. But you look at the experience, the defenders in Mbani, you look at the experience, the players like Pina, they will be guarding at the back as the midfield and the forwards are looking for that second goal.
Karabo Dlamini delivers the ball, header, and that goes out from Kutsopila. One thing about Sundowns players, whether you make a mistake or not, there's always a high five to pick you up if you're going down. There's a high five to celebrate with you. That shows some great teamwork and understanding that this game is about mistakes, and it is mistakes that lead to profitable situations. Here's Muchawe. Isabel.
But you gotta also appreciate the way they vary their play, Mamelodi Sundowns. One moment they go with, the other moment they just go through and then Sibelezi, through Ratila Ratawe. They just penetrate Gaborone United through that midfield. And it's one of those things that I believe Gaborone United defenders are always caught thinking, what can we do in situations like this? Not prepared for the variation that Mamelodi Sundowns is giving them.
If ever there's a player that I haven't seen much about, it is Nonhlanhla Mthandi, number 21. Karabo. She gives away the ball, is Karabo. Ontlametsi gives chase to Mamanani Mbani. That is experience aplenty. There's Kutsopila, slowly benefiting from that experience. Isabel Ludwig. Ditebe. Nonhlanhla Mthandi. It's a long ball looking for Miss Ludwig. Header. Soaking up the pressure and eventually just sending that ball through. Here's the mistake of Tolagele looking to get by. In between the two defenders. But it is Gaborone United who come away with it. Pressure from Nonhlanhla Mthandi. Eventually the ball goes out. Free kick. Coach Khalid, a worried man, but he's got to be patient, believe in the plan. Off the chest, Kutsopi. Bane. Lenzi Bayeletsi. Mudisenyan. Well, apologizing very, very quickly to Mudisenyane. Chawe. Nice ball. Sweet ball. Goes all the way to goalkeeper. Andile Tlamin. Bane. 1-0 the scoreline. 30 minutes on the clock. Colossa Biana plays it with the goalkeeper. Pressing high. Isaha. Isabel. Good turn. Good protection of the ball. And asking for it. Keeper's way off a line. Looking to assist Sirati. And she just heard the footsteps of Liluna Daweti, and she just went for safety first. There was nothing wrong with that.
what was on her mind there, Tlamelo Perez, she looked at the numbers. Gaborone United had gone forward and only 2 players were remaining against the 3 players of Mamelodi Sundowns, and she thought, you know what, let me go out and get the ball.
But that's the right way to basically force some sort of mistake. But goalkeeper there quick to read the game. It's a free kick. Referee says just push that ball back. Ines Gumbo. Sundowns an opportunity that they are the team that has taken the lead. Very cautious approach though. They are the team that has scored the most goals in the tournament, scoring 15, conceding just 1. And that one needed VAR, we didn't have, but today we summoned VAR to the tournament. We summoned VAR because we really needed to make sure that this tournament in Botswana goes on without a glitch.
And we already had 1 VAR incident.
Yes,
yeah, we did this afternoon with Jessica and Ndala Girls.